Hi, welcome to One for the Road, where we navigate sobriety, recovery, and life in general. Tune in as we share our experience and opinions while answering any questions you may. This is my co-host, Judy.
Hello.
She's in person.
Can't even.
Lovely. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, notify, the little
bell
button.
For sure.
Do all that. So this is weird. You're in person.
This is weird.
And so
Travel.
that I know that prompts the topic for the day. I don't know where to look. I don't know if
I don't
look
know. At
you. Look at everybody
We're
else.
just gonna do this.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna have whiplash before it's all over.
Basically. So you came from Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Back home.
Prompts the conversation. Like, what does traveling look like when you're in recovery? Because airports are like a lawless land.
Yes,
right.
What happens at the airport stays at the airport.
Oh well, yeah, and
until you get on the plane and get kicked off.
Right. Well, you know.
Airport security.
Right.
They're a thing.
So let's talk about that. Like, what is when you're, because everything that we do right in recovery like has to be linked together, right? Like traveling is different.
Sure.
Coming home is different. People, places, things, all that stuff is different. So
yeah.
What happened? Tell me all about your.
Well, do you want to go back to last week when I got here? Because I was.
Well, prior to getting here, what did that look like?
Well, for sure, because I think that was where this started when we started talking about traveling in recovery, and like what that looks like. Because as of last Tuesday, I got here Thursday afternoon.
Yeah. And
Tuesday and Wednesday, the multitudes of conversations that we had via telephone, they were increasingly frantic.
Yeah.
I've done I got, rented the car, got the boarding, like doing all of the things that you do when you travel, right? Like getting the car and doing the boarding pass and making the arrangements of where you're going to stay and packing, like all of those things, right? And then planning to see people because, you're going home, whatever, and it was just, my stress level was like off the chart. Like by Wednesday night, flight leaving at 7 a.m. I was like going to bed at 6 p.m. Like I have to be done with the planning portion now, right? And that's really what it is. And I think that just traveling in general, that even just getting on the plane and the preparation for travel, right? What was I doing for my recovery on those days prior to coming?
Right.
Not much. And that's really what it came down to, right? Like it came down to, I didn't do shit in the way of recovery, right? Like I have this daily reprieve, like just for the day. And if I wasn't doing the things, which I wasn't,
right?
Literally like at 7 a.m. talking about 5:30, like, I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
And it showed.
Yeah. I'm not going to call anybody. I'm not going to go get any help that I need. I'm
just going to ride this out because I know what's best for me, which was obviously not the case. And I will just say this, right? Like just talk to that sober mentor before walking in here. And I'm already like on this vacation with all these people. It's vacation for me. It's real life for you guys, and I'm already ruining it for all the people, and granted it only took 3 days, but that's saying something. But then I have to ask myself, what did I do for my recovery since I've been here?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Not a whole lot.
I haven't done anything. Lack of sleep, eating like shit.
Well, it's that change in routine. Like we've mentioned that a lot before too. Like, traveling is like a change in your routine and there's new places. And like, I know every time I've gone anywhere, like in recovery, like there's always that idea that like maybe I could drink while I was like gone,
for sure.
But I take me with me wherever I go. Like I'm no different of a person. I'm no more or less an alcoholic in another state than I am here.
Right.
But something will make me think that like I could totally, or like it just adds to, right? Like the vacation or whatever. I'm like, oh, I remember when I first got sober, I went to Alabama with a lady who was also sober for a long time. And she was kind of, like a mentor to me and everything. And we were like on the beach and I was like, oh,
what better than to have a date?
Yeah. Like, and I was like, oh my God, like I had no thoughts of drinking when I was back at home. But like, when I was somewhere else, I was like, oh, that would be, and for some reason, my mind, because that's where it all starts in my mind, I was like, yeah, but how do I make this more fun? Right? I'm always looking for it to be enhanced. I'm always looking for it to be better,
right?
Or whatever.
What's the effect?
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's always interesting to me. When I went to Oregon to like pick up my grandma one time, going through the airport, I used to travel a lot for work.
Yeah.
Like, so going to the airport, like you can have a drink at like 5:30 in the morning.
Sure.
And
We're
I'm
in
like,
Vegas. We're in
right,
Vegas in an
yes,
airport, right?
I
Like time is
love
irrelevant.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. I fucking love airports, but I was like, oh my God. Like I had to sit at a bar and eat a salad because like that was like the only place that was like available, whatever.
Right.
And I was like, man, because somebody else had a drink next to me. That's why I call the airport a lawless land, man, because it's like,
and it's for sure
anything goes.
Well,
when you're in an airport.
You get up at 5 a.m. to catch your flight at 7 and you got like a 45-minute downtime. You see people
with
just
nerves,
right.
Because you're getting ready to fight.
Sure, and you see people just sitting around having beers at 6 o'clock in the morning. First of all, I don't think that even looks odd, which is interesting, right? Like to a normal person, they'd be like, "You're drinking at 6 a.m." The alcoholic in me was like, "Good call." Like
that sounds like a great idea.
It sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
I remember going to bike week and stuff in Daytona and picking really and being like older, 40 something, right? And sitting in the back of the plane like you're sitting in the back of the class and having small bottles that you brought in because this was before 9/11, of course, right? So there weren't those x-ray machines. So you can you didn't have to buy the $7 bottles of booze, right? You could sneak them on and just ordering and just loaded. I mean, the 3.5-hour flight, wrecked, stumbling off the plane, and laughing the whole time, like we pulled one over, and it was like just the amount, and how unsafe. I think now, the sober mind thinks how unsafe, right?
Well, and how'd you get anywhere?
Well,
like I can get lost now, stone cold sober, and I'm like, how did I navigate anything drunk as hell?
Because I don't think it mattered. I think that, so we had to turn around and walk back the way we came, laughing, really fucked up kind of thinking, but, and it's really like just the whole traveling, I like the routine of things. I mean, it's a lot easier for me to go with the flow today than it was, before. However, the routine of my life, right? Like what it looks like on a daily basis, there's always something for my recovery to help me stay sober throughout the course of the day. And while traveling, like you said, that's not the case, right? Yeah. Because there are people to see and things to do and visiting and kids and all of the stuff. I found myself on Saturday with all the kids and, somewhere out, came and then left to go do some other stuff. And I was like encouraging the drinking of soon to be daughter-in-law, right? Yeah. Like she's like, I wish there was somebody more. And I at one point made a joke. I said to my son, who is, had his share of recovery too. I said, I almost feel like I want to have a drink with her, just so she doesn't feel bad. And he's like, no. And I'm like, really didn't mean it. But I mean,
but he was like, absolutely not.
Right. But the thought popped in.
Yeah.
The thought popped in to be like, well, I feel so bad for her. Like,
poor thing.
Poor thing. Has to drink.
By herself.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think, here's the deal, right? Like what it comes down to and what I've learned is like sobriety has to be number one. Mm-hmm. Like all these little tools that whether it's like staying connected, if going to meetings is your thing, like whatever the tools are that you use to stay sober, like when you get out of your normal routine, that's the time that you have to use them the most, right? Life is okay when there's nothing upsetting your routine, when you get to just get up in the morning, make the breakfast, go to work, talk to these, like whatever. But when you are completely uprooting your life, even if it is, for fun, vacation, whatever, like you still have to stay connected.
Yeah.
Like you still have to call those people that you normally talk to that keep you on the beam. You still have to do the readings or whatever it is you do to stay sober. Like it's more important to do that.
I would, yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I
forget. Double down my efforts. But I'm busy, right? Yeah.
I'm busy, and I forget, and until my ass is on fire.
Right. Well, yeah.
And that's it. Like I want to play around with the matches, and not do the thing. And then now my ass is on fire. The world's, I've blown up my entire world, and, all because I went on a vacation.
Well, and you essentially stopped doing what you know to do. And just because we don't drink doesn't mean that like all those defects and all that crazy, we're going to be talking about emotional sobriety while you're here too. And that kind of plays into it too. Like when I stop doing those things, the first thing I lose is my emotional sobriety,
right?
Where my thoughts and everything are on track. I lose that, and then the drink isn't far behind.
It's not far behind.
At least the thought of it, right? Like I'm not saying that you instantly drink, but like that eventually starts to sound like a good idea, right? Like, oh, she seems lonely, drink it by herself. I wish I could, what the fuck am I thinking, right? Like I know that this is detrimental to me. And so, but traveling is hard, like it is a struggle because you are upsetting the routine. You're around different things like going to the airport, or you're having a good time, right? Because I'm always of the belief that I'll never drink when times are tough, right? I'll end up being the person that relapses when I'm having the best time of my life.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Right,
so I'm coming home and everything's good, and how can we make it better, right? Because I always think a drink is going to make things better, despite my knowledge that I know it doesn't.
Facts, for sure.
The facts, like the fucking hardcore facts in my life, tell me that every time I picked up a drink, it's made things worse. But my brain will still tell me that, like, it'll make it better, right? You're on the beach, have a drink.
You just have a couple, for sure.
Right, you're going home. The kids are enjoying it. You guys are playing Monopoly. Like,
right.
Yeah, and so have a drink. And so, but I think, what it comes down to is just when we're doing anything out of the routine, and in this instance, when we're traveling, what does that look like, And so stay connected. The same thing we always say, right? Stay connected. Keep doing the things that you're doing, even if it is just simply reading things that keep you in that recovery mindset and make you aware of like who you are, right? Like I'm an alcoholic, and I'm so sensitive to this world that like anything is going to make me want to drink, right? The flight's late. I got nothing to do. Like that's always my fear when I go into airports. It's like, I'm going to get delayed so much and it's going to stress me out. I'm going to be thinking I'm never going to be able to get home and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll just be drunk and then.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'll hop on the wrong plane and be somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Which might not be a bad idea sometimes, so.
For sure. All right.
So
I'm going to dismiss this though, because I don't know. Sorry. All right.
Oh.
Don't know if it would record or not, so just better say
I hope it doesn't, because we've been recording with it for a while now.
Oh, well, I didn't know this, but whatever. It was just a notification that we're supposed to be recording. It was a reminder.
Nice friendly reminder. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't have much more to add as far as travel goes, except for stay on your shit.
I do, right. I mean, I think that's the thing. I don't know what's happening. We're having technical difficulties in person. I apologize. I think stay on your shit, and that's for sure. I think that, remembering that the routine is there for a reason, right? And that, the moral of the story is that I can tell you from personal experience, right? Not doing the things that keep me sober on the daily basis led to a great deal of lack of emotional sobriety, which we will be talking about, and and self-created distress, and and that was the thing, right? So trying to get back on that beam and do the things I know that worked. I think that was really what it is, right? And try to remember that even though I can have that amnesia, that memory lost, that it really works. It works. Yeah. When I choose to do the thing.
Yeah. Like all these things work. All the little things coming, they actually do work, but you have to do them. Have to do them for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So all right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, do all that stuff. We are eventually going to have we're gonna interview somebody. We're gonna have a little guest. We're going to do a 3-part series on relationships. Yes, that's going to be so that'll be fun. Yes. And keep coming back. That's all for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification button so you know when new posts are coming up. Keep coming back.